They seem like a peaceful community of people who want nothing to do with the outside world, but there is more than meets the eye when it comes to the Amish. If this is your first time visiting us, click that red subscribe button to see more videos like this. Today we are discussing 10 dark facts about being Amish. Inbreeding. There are over 200,000 Amish people in America, and they are all descendants of the 200 founders. Considering the numbers, it's no secret that the Amish are all related to each other, even if it is distant. So it's no wonder that the Amish community is riddled with genetic disorders. The Amish believe these disorders are God's will, and they refuse to do genetic tests before marriage that could prevent these disorders. The inbreeding amongst them has also contributed to the high infant mortality rate in the Amish community. Graves dug by hand. When someone in the Amish community dies, it's usually the duty of the community to organize the funeral. The community comes together to do everything from making a meal after the funeral, building the coffin, and digging the grave by hand. Because the Amish don't use technology, digging a grave for a member who has passed can get pretty taxing. It takes about 3 days for the grave to be dug. In the meantime, the Amish will hold 3 viewings of the person who has passed, including in their house, in the church, and at the gravesite. Rumspringa. Rumspringa is the process in which the Amish youth decide whether they want to be baptized into the Amish church or not. This coming-of-age tradition starts at the age of 16, and unlike popular beliefs, it can last for years. Rumspringa translates to running around in German, and this is the first time the teenagers don't have parental control and they aren't baptized so they don't fall under the rule of the church. The Rumspringa will usually include the teens trying anything from drinking, drugs, and sex. Surprisingly, over 80% of the teenagers choose to get baptized in the Amish church after their Rumspringa. Pollution. It's hard to believe a society that is of the land and doesn't use technology can wreak such havoc on local ecosystems. But the Amish in Lancaster, Pennsylvania have been known to generate 61 million pounds of manure a year. This is a huge contrast to counties in the surrounding areas. When local governments sent enforcement out to investigate the possibility of Amish farmers polluting local waterways from manure runoff, they found that 85% of farmers had violations. The farmers had everything from high levels of E. coli to improperly contained cows. The government sent the farmers over $300,000 to literally clean up their act. Alcohol abuse. Considering how holy Amish people claim to be, it's hard to picture how alcohol abuse is so abundant in their communities. In the Amish community, it is actually embarrassing for people to know if you drink too much. Drinking too much has the same punishment as sexual assault of a child, which is sadly just a slap on the wrist. But in light of punishment, there have been several cases of teenagers getting drunk, stealing buggies, and running from local authorities. Most of the abuse comes from teenagers trying to cram too much of their Rumspringa in such little time. Undercover crimes. Considering the Amish reject the outside world, getting them to abide by the law can be pretty tricky. For the most part, they ignore the government and the government ignores them. They're able to punish their crimes in their own system, and most of the time, it means things don't get reported. Child abuse and sexual assault are amongst the crimes that get overlooked in the Amish community. Most of the time, the only thing the perpetrator has to do is confess and repent, and they will be forgiven for their sins and never face any jail time. Puppy mills. Amish country in Lancaster, Pennsylvania happens to be the puppy mill capital of the United States according to local authorities. And the Amish own up to 20% of the U.S.'s puppy mills. To them, these dogs are seen as livestock, and therefore they are able to get away with having the puppy mills without being punished. Around 5 million dogs are killed in puppy mills every year, and the ones who survive are riddled with infections and diseases. The blatant patriarchy. According to the Amish, they have more traditional gender roles in their community. The wife stays at home and the man is the breadwinner. The Amish also don't believe in divorce, and a wife can only remarry if her husband is deceased. The men run the church and the homes in the Amish community, and they are given the final say when it comes to making decisions. According to many who study women's roles in society, they believe the Amish men oppress the Amish women. Surprisingly, Amish women actually relish in their way of life and believe they are serving God's will. Shunning. The Amish use shunning as a punishment to help enforce church rule. When someone does something that is against the rules of the church, the community will shun them. This means the shunned person will be split from other Amish people at social gatherings, or other people in the community will be forbidden to take anything from them. So if you are shunned, people in the community won't do business with you, and though your family and friends can give you money or assistance, they aren't allowed to accept any good from you. Shunning has had a negative effect on Amish people and is known to be an oppressive way to enforce church rule. They love Mexico. Of course, there is no wonder that they have much disdain for America, as they don't like any of the Western technology or advancements. One country they are quite fond of is Mexico. The Amish were lured to Mexico 100 years ago because there is no draft and there are large plots of land. They ended up falling in love with the cuisine and started implementing tortilla and salsa in their own dishes. One of the bigger reasons the Amish love Mexico could be because of the affordable medical industry. Since the Amish have no health insurance in America, they are known to head down south for important health concerns and surgeries. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please share your thoughts with us down in the comments. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to The Riches for more fascinating facts daily. Thank you for watching.